Here is an example of a problem where I'm going to use the distributive property to write the expression a different way. Now this is a lot like some of the problems that some of my students had some trouble with when they're working on a Khan Academy lesson, where you had to find the GCF, the greatest common factor of a problem, and factor that out to demonstrate the distributive property. So that's what I'm going to do here. If I have 36a squared plus 12a, I have to figure out what is the greatest common factor of those two values. Now, there's a few ways I could do this. I could actually do prime factorization, and I think that might be one way that would work. Like I could take 36a squared here, and I could have like 36 here, a squared here, and then that would be a times a. And here, this would be 6 times 6, 2 times 3, 2 times 3. I could do it like that, and that would give me 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times a times a. And then I could have 12a here, and that would just give me a. And that would give me 3 times 4, and 2 times 2. And that would be 2 times 2 times 3 times a. And then if I focused on what they have in common, here's the 2 and here's the 2. So that would be 2. I'm going to put GCF here. And then here's the 2 and here's the 2. And here's the 3, here's the 3. And we don't have any more 3's in common. Here's an A, here's an A. And here's A, but we don't have any more A's in common. So 2 times 2 would be 4. 4 times 3 would be 12. 12 times A would be 12a. So our greatest common factor would be 12a. Now, I could do it that way, and I did. I could also use my number sense, and using my number sense, I can look at that, and I just know that 12 would be the greatest common factor as far as like coefficients. And then variables, a would be the greatest common factor because there's at least one a in both of those variables. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put 12a right here, and I want to see how many groups of 12a can I get out of 36a. And I can get 3a. Now, 12 times 3 is 36. A times a is a squared, so that will work. Now, how many 12a's are there in 12a? I've got students in the room. How many? How many 12a's are there? How many groups of 12a are there in 12a? All right, Mason, what do you think? One. Just one. Just one. So by using the distributive property, I was able to write that expression a different way. And I guarantee, if we knew the value of a, and we were to actually work this first problem out, we would get the exact same answer if we worked it out like this down here using the distributive property. Okay, I just want to demonstrate that for my students. And if I were to talk about math practice on this one, all I did was like number 3. I just used what I know about the distributive property of multiplication to do it this way. Or I could say number 7, think like a mathematician, number 7. I looked at the structure of the problem, 36a squared plus 12a, and I knew that I could extract from that the greatest common factor, 12a, and then use the distributive property to write the problem in a different way.